Why do you keep Knoxville on your mind?
Because I love it. It's where I always felt safe. And because I always felt welcome and loved. I love it.
Since the late 1960s, Nikki Giovanni has been one of America's most beloved poets.
I write a lot about Knoxville because Knoxville is my heart. I wrote a poem that I'd like to share. It's called Knoxville, Tennessee. And I wrote it because I dedicate it to grandmother and grandpapa.
She was born on June 7, 1943, at the former Knoxville General Hospital. But when she was just a few months old, her family moved to Cincinnati, Ohio. She spent most of her summers in Knoxville with her grandparents, Louvenia and John Brown Watson, at their home at 400 Mulvaney Street. When she was 14, she returned to Knoxville to live with them and attended Austin High School with the likes of other civil rights legends in Knoxville, such as Avon Rollins. She later attended Fisk University in Nashville, but was expelled after a rough year, resisting societal norms at the time. And later, she went on to graduate from Fisk in 1967.
I went to Fisk, and of course I got kicked out of Fisk, and I was really sorry about that because Grandpapa was a Fisk graduate in 1905.
During her time at Fisk University in the early 1960s, she became involved in the growing civil rights movement. And although she does not consider herself a civil rights icon, but rather just a poet dedicated to doing, millions of Giovanni fans around the world who appreciate her artistic and cultural contributions to the civil rights and black arts movement might disagree. To many, she is Black history, and she is a legend in her own right.
We fought the civil rights because it was time. It was just time to stop that colored only, white only. That was just time to stop.
The house where she spent her summers and her high school years was torn down as part of an urban removal program that began in the 1950s to make way for Knoxville Civic Auditorium and the Coliseum's parking garage, as well as what's now known as James White Parkway. But before the entire area was destroyed, Giovanni's literary genius began in the racially segregated Little Carnegie Library in East Knoxville, up on the hill. In her 2022 children's book, A Library, she describes the Carnegie Library not only as a place to return books, but a place to be free. In 1987, she began what would become a 35-year career as an illustrious distinguished English professor at Virginia Tech University. Although she retired in 2022, she is still undeniably the princess of Black poetry and has written more than 30 books. Giovanni has also won multiple NAACP Image Awards, the American Book Award. She's a New York Times best-selling author and recipient of 27 honorary degrees. She's published more than 24 volumes of poetry, essays, and edited anthologies, as well as 11 illustrated children's books.
I write poetry. I try to be as honest as I can. I do have a wicked sense of humor when I'm in a good mood, and I'm always laughing about that.
In 2008, Giovanni was honored with a historic marker which was placed on Hall of Fame Drive at the spot where her grandparents' home once stood. The marker was replaced across the street in 2019 and reworded to better acknowledge the loss of the neighborhood where her grandparents' home once stood.
I'm so proud to be a Knoxvillian because we in the Appalachian Mountains, we in that Appalachian Trail, we in this area saved this country. We recognize that if we in the Appalachia had not stood up for America, for the Constitution, for the hopes and the dreams, things in what is called Civil War would have gone differently. So we're very proud of the white people that we live with. We're very proud that they stood up for the best in America. They were not afraid of some brown people coming across a wall. They were not afraid of some women making a decision to control their own body. They were not afraid. We in Appalachia are not afraid of the truth and justice. And we will continue to not be afraid because we in Appalachia, white and black and brown, yellow, are great people. And we are not going to let anybody take that greatness away from us.